Good evening, and welcome to this special edition of Conversations with Taz. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the initiative called BIPOC Boost, which I am super excited about, and our guest of honor will be joining us shortly, and a few other people. You know what? Look at me. Forgot that I actually turned the TV on for once, but still didn't watch it. But I hope Saturday is seeing everyone well. And I know that we have a lot of things going on within the BIPOC community. Oh, D-Mac, would you like to introduce yourself again to the people?
Hello.
Oh, that is a cute shirt. I'm getting distracted. See, that's the ADHD in me. It is a cute shirt. It looks cute on you.
This is so old.
I would have never known. But it looks wonderful, darling. But we know that there's a lot going on. BIPOC creators are being suppressed on every social media platform. And our guest of honor.
That not surprising.
Hello.
Introduce yourself, darling.
I am Dion Pheonix of TikTok. Here to talk about hashtag BIPOC Boost. It's about to uplift the BIPOC community, and so that we can start uplifting each other. And one of those things you can do, I don't know if that's already been talked about since we've only been here online for 2 minutes. Sorry for being late. Just go to a BIPOC creators. If they land on your For You page, or if you're following one and you see there's maybe not a video with not that many views, click the like, add a comment to boost the video. You can share it to me. I don't care.
Share it to me also.
And let's start uplifting each other, because there's enough people trying to down the BIPOC community that we don't need to do it to each other.
Facts.
There are enough people trying to tell us who we are and what we do and what we'll be and what we can be and what we gonna do. I don't have time for that. And if you have time for that, well, I'm sorry for you, but I still boost you. But I don't have time for that.
And let me just add this on, because I know that Dion was on with me last night, and Dion was explaining why he does not identify himself as an activist. But you don't have to be an activist to make a change. You don't have to be an activist to bring positivity to a movement. You don't have to be an activist in order to uplift people.
Well, actually, I'm coming back to let you know that somebody saw that live I was in, and they cussed me out for a good 15 minutes because this person used to be it turns out to be good news. He was telling me about myself, because this person used to be a Trump supporter. And after I educated him about Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, he changed his mindset.
Okay, I was about to say it needed to be a have and happen ending, or I was going to be.
So he is now, instead of being a full-blown Trumpy, he supports the LGBTQIA because I'm his friend. He will fly the Black Lives Matter sign.
Yes.
And
this is what we love to hear.
He told me that you reached one person. That's enough to be an activist, at least to him.
Well, it's just like...
So I just wanted to let y'all know, I got cussed out for that live last night.
It's just like when I was talking to you on my walk to the store, and I was telling you about the woman that I, pre-COVID, used to be able to have lunch with. And she didn't identify as an activist, but when she was telling me about the role she played regarding civil rights in the South and the things that she did, I'm like, they were still important. Making signs, feeding people, housing people, being willing to drive people from place to place, being willing to bail people out of jail. Like, this is all that's needed. If every single person is an activist, who's going to be, because it's not cheap. I'm going to be real with y'all. It is not cheap to be an activist, because how many protests are really happening in your town? You have to travel. traveling takes gas, food. Depending on how long you end up being there, you may have to get your clothes laundered or get new clothes, or if you become incarcerated, get bailed out, get an attorney. It's not cheap. No part of it is cheap, whether financially, emotionally, mentally, nothing. So you need those people that are like, hey, you can stay at my house, or hey, I got these sandwiches, I got bottled water. And trust me, when you're in the midst of a protest, whether you've been marching all day, you've been pepper sprayed, anything, you need those people that are like, here. Eyes of the Wolf said that in the metro fit, yes, because sometimes you have to stay on the outskirts, and you're gonna have to take public transportation to where that protest is, because I've been to protests where they've run the plates of people's cars within the near vicinity, and sometimes within the whole city, and have you towed. So when you try to come back to your car, when they invoke curfews, you're stuck because your car has been impounded. You're in a city you're not familiar with, and you trying to get back.
Well, one thing I want to add on to that, it's like some people feel like they're not doing enough for Stop the Line 3. And at the end of the day, if you can't travel, then if you are able to send financial help, then that's also helping with the act of, being the people there on the ground. And that's in my own opinion. But also, if you are spreading awareness about Stop Line 3, that's also doing something. It's better than just letting it happen and not saying anything.
Exactly.
So, go ahead. Sorry, David.
No. You're fine. You're fine. So here's my take on this whole thing, and if I'm wrong, please, comment section, you guys definitely check me. But why do we need a pipeline for oil we already have in this country? Oil that's just sitting there. It's in Texas. There's some, like, literally that whole entire southern rim has oil, but they're not using it. They're just letting it sit there and gestate. Gestating. Just
and let's not forget that we keep claiming that we as a country are going to war with other countries for their civil rights and civil liberties, knowing that they don't live the way that we do. And all we're coming away with is oil. So why do we need, and it's not even a new pipeline, it's a pipeline extension. Why does it need to be extended? You're already pumping the maximum amount out. Extending it's no different than extending your route to get to vacation. If I say I'm taking a vacation, say up to DMAC, where he lives, I'm going to choose the quickest possible route. Why would it make sense for me to go, let me give the extension and go around here? How does that benefit? We learned in school, the quickest way to get from point A to point B is what? A straight line, not extensions. They don't teach us to add on to get from point A to point B super quick. Oh, and you know what? Joe made a good point. Why aren't we? And actually, we are starting to move away from oil. But fossils, like the one that's fossil color, Trump and his Trumplicans within the GOP, still want to bring back coal, which has killed people, which people are still suffering with things. And we don't even use coal as fuel. Gasoline that people don't want to use. But we are moving away from it. But here's the thing. And I see what you're saying, DMAC, but you know where the actual money is?
No. I'm not saying where the money is. I'm just saying people don't want to they want you to buy more cars because they break down from the use of oil. People want you to buy more gas because that way it puts more money in the other people's pockets so that they can keep lobbying people to keep oil as a
But here's the dichotomy. They know that the majority of their money is in reusable energy. They know that an electric car will yield them more money.
They don't want to do that.
But what they're going to do and think about this and look back historically. You do not have to take my word for this. Look back at it historically. They will push whatever they are about to make obsolete, to make you rush out and buy it so that they can just have that solid profit as they then push you towards something else, because they'll tell you the market is depleted on something and then you need to move on to what is more profitable to them.
I mean, just look at it with the music industry. There's been several things that we have switched to. Some people don't even buy CDs anymore. When it's
8-track
all a
tapes,
streaming service.
cassette tapes.
Oh, from what I understand, the oil from Pipeline 3 is not mainly intended for. No, it's not. Nothing. Here's the thing. Let me take this, because y'all know this is my zhuzh, this is my gag, this is what I study all day, every day. Here's the messed up part about the United States economic system. What we can naturally produce here, we don't sell to our own citizens. We sell to the world. And then we barter with the world to get what we already produce here. And then we upcharge our citizens because we had to import it. Make that make sense? Because we chose not to learn from the native communities within the United States who grew stuff here, bartered amongst each other, and kept everything feasible for everyone, kept the environment safe, kept the people safe, and everything was good. But now we produce something here, sell it all to everybody else, and then buy it back from them, and then sell it back to our own people at a heightened price.
You know, the weirdest thing that I've heard, like since 2020, since the era of El Corrende Cheeto, El Punda Cheeto.
No, the orange douche nugget. That is his name. That's what he's going to be called for the rest of his life.
Cinnamon Hitler.
I like El Punto Chuto. But anyways, a lot of people feel like
Cheeto.
The shade.
Okay, I'm
Man,
quit,
wait.
Because I don't got me off. One of y'all to call daddy. Go ahead.
You got me off topic.
That's why I said I don't even need one of y'all to call daddy. Go ahead.
So I feel like since the era of El Putachito, I feel like we've been in an alternate universe for the longest time. And I've had this discussion with somebody else about Bernie Sanders. He should have been president. That's my opinion too.
Yeah, because Bernie Sanders is the fed up uncle that would change shit. He is the fed up uncle that watches your parents fuck up, your grandparents fuck up, your aunts and uncle fuck up, and he like, just give me the damn kids and I'm gonna fix this shit.
And as a person who's went to his rallies and met him and heard him speak and have watched his rallies, we need someone who's not going to switch up on us.
That part.
Not for his comrades, not for someone who is truly for doing what they said that they were going to do and not switching it up at some point. And I'm going to throw my sign under the bus, but we need somebody who's not going to be too much like a Gemini. I said what I said. You can take me off the main screen now.
I don't think I want to.
No, take me off the main screen.
I don't think I want to.
Girl.
I'm afraid of what's about to happen.
I don't care. D-Mac wants to say something.
Oh, me. Okay, so here's the thing. And we're going to go deep. So I hope everybody has their teacups ready. I hope. Put a teacup in the comment section if you got your teacup ready. Because we're about to go.
Oh, Lord. Let me switch cups. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm gonna wait for the comment section to put a teacup in there. Come on, y'all.
Throw your what Lil Kim say? Throw your teacups up. Get it now. Throw your tea. I mean, she said lighters, but we're gonna say teacups because I don't need a community guidelines violation.
Yeah. No, we don't need the community guidelines. So
Alphabet
here's
Hubby
my
put his
thing.
teacup up.
So here's my thing, and I have said this to our lovely friend Taz. I've said it to Dion too. Here's my first day, my first day in office. I'm calling the minor and the major heads of the Senate and the House of Representatives, and we're all going to sit down and we're all going to have a meeting. And in this meeting, I will make it known and make it be very clear that, one, I don't care if you like me, hate me, want me dead, or whatever else that you have in your twisted little mind to do. That's your business. I don't care. It's not my problem. It really isn't. What my problem is that if you, so I'm talking to both the major and minor heads of the Senate and the House of Representatives, don't come together and bring me something that benefits the people who've elected us to help them, then be prepared to have 2/3 of the Senate and the House of Representatives to override me, because I'm not signing anything.
Amen.
If it doesn't help put money or food on the table for them people out there, and them, not you, and not your little people who be putting money in your hands outside of these Senate doors, I'm telling you, I will be like Jesus turning over tables.
Yes.
I will be like Jesus turning over them tables, and I'm just like, look, no, this is not for you. They've elected you to represent them.
That part.
Y'all be sitting here saying y'all sat there, your country cousin ancestors sat there and be like, no representation with no taxation without representation. So you've been taxing us without the same representation for us, but to enrich you. But we're trying to sit here and live, but we can't do that because you keep constantly taking our money to enrich somebody else. Please tell me how that is functional for us. Please tell me. Please tell me how that's functional, because it's not. Then you're going to sit there, stab me in the back after you told me to pull up myself by my bootstraps. And I'm talking about all BIPOC and Black people specifically, because we've been sitting here enriching folks for years and they ain't said nothing. Y'all sit there, bust up our stuff because you was mad that we weren't spending our money in your establishments. Y'all got so up in arms when we started walking to work. Let's talk about it. Y'all got so up in arms when we started walking to work, not putting that dollar in that bus. Why were you late? Well, because we're on a strike, we're on a protest. Because of what? Because the buses are being discriminatory. Oh shoot! If I want this person to come clean my house, we better bust that thing up. We can't have the buses be segregated no more. That's the only reason they stopped segregating these buses, because it was costing them money. Let's be real. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. That money was causing... You're muted, honey. I can't hear you.
You're muted.
That's one of the biggest myths. It wasn't about the money. They were willing to continue to lose money. And I know I'm about to give a truly unpopular opinion. And I know a lot of BIPOC people, especially Black people, are probably going to try to cancel me after this. But check the history and you will know that I'm factually correct. So you can't be mad at me. Everybody holds Rosa Parks up to a high standard. But she wasn't the first Black woman to sit down on the bus. And it wasn't the Montgomery bus boycott that brought about change. It was a Supreme Court case.
Oh, I know about that one. I know about that one.
Claudette Colvin was a part of.
True.
It actually brought the change.
Yes.
You have to realize white people, colonizers, racist white people are willing to lose everything to prove that Black people are at the bottom of the spectrum. White people throughout history have lost everything, have lost plantations, have lost wealth, have lost generational wealth. just to propel that forward. Let's look at Helen Keller that everybody wants to praise. This woman couldn't talk, couldn't hear, couldn't see, but still believed in eugenics and still believed that her white skin made her better than someone who looked like me.
Who is this?
Helen Keller.
I have no clue who this is. I'm not kidding. I'm not being facetious there.
Hey, D-Mac, there's back feet on your side.
You didn't watch the movies with the shit. I cannot even think of her name.
Cliff Notes version will do. Cliff Notes version will do.
But this is what people do. And this is why I say BIPOC and those that support BIPOC must create a union. And our union must be stronger and more powerful. And hear me when I say this, must be stronger and more powerful than the police unions of the United States.
They are. Wait. I'm gonna add on to that. Just because you do not like what that BIPOC person is doing, I'm sorry. Hold your feelings, and you need to just not right now. I know you probably had your mom and your daddy tell you not right now too much in your life, but not right now. We need unity. We need a union that is a solid voice.
But let me explain what you mean to the people. We're not talking about a problematic coon. We're not talking about a problematic performative activist. We're talking about when you have a personal issue with someone. First of all, it shouldn't see the light of day. It should not make social media. You should not be making 50 million phone calls to call around and say that this BIPOC person ain't shit because you don't like them. And you know what, Dion, may I speak?
Go ahead. Go right the fuck ahead.
I'm going to take a gander and say none of y'all knew that Dion and I had an argument, that we had a falling out. Wanna know why?
Let me. Hey. No, they knew because they saw my apology video, but I took it down before I took it down. Some of them pointed it out to me.
But my thing is, they saw you apologize to me. They don't know what ensued for about a week because we're both stubborn. We're both emotional.
We didn't talk for a month.
But I'm saying we had a week of back and forth. I ain't gonna lie about it. It wasn't like every day, but it was a week that, sporadically we went back and forth. We didn't disparage each other. Neither one of us came out and said, "Oh, she ain't shit. He ain't shit. Don't fuck." No.
I will say that we probably expressed the fact that we were hurt by the other person. You know what I mean?
But it's okay.
But at the same time,
nobody degraded the other person.
But at the same time, I do want to say this. She kept it offline. She kept the dispute offline. She didn't make no videos about me. I made a video about her because I'm going to let y'all know I was the offender. Okay? I just didn't like how I was talked to because the way I was talked to when she checked me made me mad.
And I apologize because I realized even though I was hurt and in my feelings, that did not give an excuse for how I spoke to you.
So at the end of the day, the reason why we're back together online is because we realized in that situation, yes, one of us initiated, but we both fucked up.
It's because of me. Say it's all right.
Yes, Bane. Yes, Bane. It was because of you, Bane. Put your headphones in, because all you're doing is reverberating, Bane. Batman, I am your father. You will bow down to me. If I am stuck in this cave, you will be stuck in this cave with me. And when I get out, I will wreak havoc upon everything that you have and everything that you have built. Okay, if y'all don't what the fuck I just said, I'm sorry.
But going on that note, at the end of the day, At the end of the day, when like this is what I'm talking about. Like we don't need to go online disparaging each other, especially in our community.
And if you
Now,
don't
I'm
agree
gonna
with
say
how somebody handles racist or problematic people, that's fine. Handle racist and problematic people the way that you handle them. You don't, nobody told you have to he, kiki, and invite these people over to your house. But stop getting online, going off on each other, because that's precisely what people are looking for. Because while you're beefing one on
mhm,
one online or even behind the scenes, you have overt, covert, and underhanded racists that are using this opportunity to mass report, spread false narratives, and further divide. We have to learn from. Y'all want to really know why I'm such a history buff? Because I'm a firm believer that until you know where you've been, you'll never know where you're going.
I am a
When
firm
I learned,
believer that
what,
if you do not
one
learn
moment,
history,
Dion.
you are doomed
Well,
to repeat it. I'm sorry
yeah,
to talk. I didn't mean to talk over you. I'm sorry. I just
but my thing is, I learned a lot from Germany and what Germany learned about itself. Germany was like, you know what? I'm not going to be in denial. I am not going to be the country that's looked at as a narcissistic, abusive ex husband, ex boyfriend, no nothing. I'm going to tackle my problems head on. I'm going to put it on Front Street. I'm going to teach every generation where I fucked up in the past so that we don't fuck up in the future. But the United States is that narcissistic, abusive ex boyfriend, ex
It's not
husband, ex
X.
girlfriend, ex
It's not
wife
X.
that
It's not
doesn't want
X.
you to get past. And I'm saying X because the X's seem to go harder in the paint than the currents. And I'm saying this from experience from somebody who's been. I'm not ready to go into the details, but DMAC, you know, you and I have had this conversation. I've been in that situation, and when they become your ex, they go harder in the paint than anyone else to disparage your name, to bring you down, to deny your experience. Sound familiar?
Again,
Every
they
BIPOC
get
individual in the
America
United
gaslights
States
people.
is in an abusive relationship with Uncle Sam. Prove me wrong. Tell me that every BIPOC person in the United States is not in an abusive, toxic relationship with Uncle Sam. I'll wait for anybody to tell me that ain't true.
and hey, my white gays, come back over here. Because just because we address the BIPOC community,
Look at
your
this.
and then you have people trying to play oppression of Olympus. That's true. That's true. Look, if you're a white gay, you have more privilege than I do. My fiance is a white gay. He knows he has more privilege than I do. But Uncle Sam plays some of the same games with you, and I can't stand when I see a white Republican gay who's all down ho for the Trump show. He didn't even want you to get married. He didn't
He
want you
doesn't
to
even
have
want you to
rights.
exist.
Exactly. You and this is why, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is why any white gay that is a Republican and a Trumpy,
Black gay
I'm
too.
gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. No, because I'm not gonna I believe they're coons, but I'm not gonna paint them like this. Only because they black. That's what I don't feel comfortable doing. Now you two, y'all can do what you want. But what I'm gonna say is, boo boo baby, you turn drag into clownship. Just like that.
But can we talk about the truth of the matter? Can we go to historical fact and just say that the true blue colonizers, as much as, and I know I've said it before, that it's the cisgendered white Christian males, but when you actually look at their histories, it's the cisgendered faux Christian males, whether they're straight or gay, because there were a lot of gay white men that was colonizing, that were raping and pillaging. They just weren't raping people
Please
who were
understand,
born under the gender that I was born under.
I am not disparaging for the things that they have done as well. I mean, think about it. Most
No,
black
I'm talking
people,
about, like,
I'm
I
talking to
know a
black
lot of
people this
gay
time.
men. There are a
The
lot of
King
white
James,
gay
King
men,
James,
so I couldn't have been a
King James.
colonizer.
King James. King James. And what's the Bible version that y'all read out of? The KJV?
First of all, can y'all
Enough
probably
said.
read First Samuel and Second Samuel? Additionally, the man that you all worship as the true and living God, Jesus Christ, is actually King James's lover. Oop.
Y'all worship a white gay man.
Some of y'all
Congratulations.
should have taken art history. When I said I studied all aspects of history,
You
and
mean
I
the one who
still do.
made the image?
But hold on, I still do to this day. And wait a minute, these two men can tell you because they've watched me on camera. I study history thoroughly to this day, even present day history that is in the making. I study it thoroughly, and that portrait that y'all love so much, that's King James's lover. That ain't Jesus.
Wait, time out. Are you talking
That
about the
ain't
paintings?
Jesus.
You were talking about the painting?
Yeah, that ain't Jesus.
Of course, it's not Jesus. That's Leonardo. That's the person who painted it. That he imaged it after him.
No,
Boo boo baby. No, no,
in
no, no.
1942, there was a portrait that started to be put in Bibles saying that it was a depiction of Jesus. It's predominantly in Catholic Bibles.
I've never seen it in the one I've looked at, so I can't say that I've seen it. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm past.
So count me out on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm past Leonardo's lover.
Well,
And
they
the
still
one
have
that
him
is,
they still have him in the cross in most Catholic ones.
I know, but the picture that within the past, correct me if I'm wrong, Dion, I believe in the past 5 to 6 years online that they passed around. I think it's in
5 to
that
6
time.
years? No, that's been more like shoot. That's been most of my life. I'm 32 years old.
Okay. So when I discovered it, it was 5 to 6 years. That's why I asked for
Okay.
correction.
Yeah,
It
you're
has
fine.
been the gay lover of King James that has been passed around.
Which
And
King
I
James are
just
we
want
talking about?
From the King James version of the Bible. He wasn't straight.
Okay. How old are we talking here?
old.
Are we talking about King James of Scotland?
No, King James of England.
England.
King James. Wait, after Elizabeth I?
Yes.
Then yes,
Mhm.
King James of Scotland and England.
Oh
now
yeah.
my
I'm
point.
sorry.
Now my
I forgot it
point.
was Scotland.
Never
and England.
mind. Got it. Got that thing. I was just like King James. I was like,
No,
wait,
And,
where?
thank you for the correction. I keep
yeah,
forgetting
true.
that he's of Scotland and England. I
Girl,
don't know
you
why
had me
I take
confused. I was like,
Scotland.
King
Actually, I do know why I take Scotland out of it because of the stride that the Scottish have made for other marginalized. I got to get better on that
what? What?
with the
Um,
Scottish.
I
I have
also
to
want
get
people
better
to
of
understand
remembering and
something.
encompassing the entire history.
Well, the
I also
Scottish
want
people.
people
The
to
Scottish people.
understand.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I also want people to understand something, and yeah, y'all might cancel me for this one too.
Well, we won't know until
When
you
we
say
talk
it.
about people of color and the true origins of people, let's talk about the Latin community. Because y'all don't know this, but I'm half black and I'm half Latin.
Okay.
I am half, Latin American. But we
Mhm.
often forget the Latin community overseas. Because if you go down to the base of the language of Latin, what was one of the first Bibles written in that was. We often forget those people of color, but they often don't identify as people of color because they're depicted as white because of what the descendants since time was whatever. I'm talking about all the way back to Julius Caesar.
Well,
What's that?
if you look at Catherine, who's the son of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand, she was not a light girl. She really
So
wasn't. They depicted her as
If you
light.
look at Queen Elizabeth of England's grandmother, and then
She
think about
wasn't
her,
light.
and then think about her disdain for Meghan Markle, I'm sure she is being haunted every night and smacked in the motherfucking face.
but I'm just saying, like,
Because her grandmother
just
was
to
my
touch,
complexion.
just to touch on what you were saying, like, we often forget that there are other people of color, but just how when the Irish came over here, they didn't identify as white because
For
it
a
was
very long
easier for
time.
them. Yeah, but like there are other
Anyone that was not
races.
truly Anglo-Saxon did not identify as white until they came over into the coloristic capitalistic system of the United States. Because you had Italian, Sicilians, Scottish, Irish, everything moving into predominantly Black and African ghettos, along with darker skinned, more olive toned Jewish individuals, and everybody was getting along. Then, when they saw that there was a color hierarchy, and that color hierarchy was also associated with a pay hierarchy, they started to further associate. And that's when racist ideas and racial tropes started to be ingrained in generations leading up from there.
Because
And
okay,
that was my point, that we often forget that there are other peoples of color
yep. So see,
than
because
just what we naturally know.
if you look at it, as soon as they came over here, she's
Because
right.
you touched on the fact of historical contents, right? I was trying to stay true to that historical context. But now, wait. I do want to say this. If you are either Italian, Sicilian, or whatever, and you act like a colonizer,
You use a colonizer.
Okay, what do you
then
mean?
you,
Oh, wait, hold up, wait a minute, time out. It's not acting like a colonizer.
well,
Well, hold on. Let's take a journey back through history, because let me take a line
go
from
ahead.
I am Kenza Ashley. The head colonizer in charge was Christopher Columbus, who was an Italian man who couldn't get Italian nationalists to support his lame brain ideologies and his expeditions because they
Taz.
knew that he was a failure. So he decided to marry a Portuguese woman under false pretenses because he knew that the Portuguese were at the height of abducting Black and brown people and importing them into different countries for profit. And he was like, oh, if I sell them my story, they will go with it, because there was a prince who encouraged his father, the king, to go ahead and continue with the slave trade because he felt that that would be his legacy, because he had Leonidas Africanus on his side, who was a highly educated former African royalty
And
member
that's,
who decided to become the first coon in history because he thought that that would save his neck. So
hold on,
the
that was the historical context. But what I was saying was
But
people
no,
who do
hold
not,
on, let me finish this. And the
go
only
ahead.
reason Christopher Columbus is so highly regarded in the United States right now is because there was a little known book of fables. And Italian
True.
Americans were tired of being treated like shit. And they saw how bad Black people were being treated in the United States. And they didn't want to fall behind the on the totem pole. Excuse me, Native Americans. I mean no disrespect, underneath Black people, because they didn't want to be under the soil. So they said, hey, let's prep this up. And they petitioned and petitioned and petitioned under this fable that was written, a smidget in a book, to the United States government. And the United States government was like, well, he looks like the complexion for the protection, so let's go with it. And they started to sell the fable that was Christopher Columbus.
So
Okay.
I believe. Hold on, calm
No.
down.
I'm not
The
talking about me.
reason, the reason why I say, go ahead. The reason why I say still act like a colonizer is because, to me, if you're acting like a colonizer, you're not admitting that colonization happened. You're not admitting history. You're not admitting to the facts of what has been done in the past. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, a person who acts like a colonizer can't take the word colonizer and not get mad. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
Understandable.
feel. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest. I'm not the most knowledgeable on the subject. I could be wrong. And I could also change my mindset tomorrow. You never know. I could meet a colonizer and be like, "Oh, you bitches is colonizer." Shoot, my fiance might piss me off in the next 15 minutes. I might say, "You colonizer." You never know.
I say this, and I'm gonna keep saying it until people understand it and get it, and then stop bothering me. If you want people to sit here and take you seriously about your quote unquote activism, and I'm using that term very loosely. If you want people to take you seriously, actions speak louder than words. All time, every day, all day. Don't
You
don't
know what?
tell me you an activist. Show me.
I'm going to ask you all something that I've never
Uh,
asked you all, not in,
mm-hmm.
not personally, not in public, and I'm asking you this publicly because I am fully equipped to take the answer that you give. Minus one guest that has been on this panel, I believe that the two of you have spent more time with me, have gotten to know me better than most other people, excuse me, that have been on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm asking honestly, I'm not asking for a pat on the back. Y'all know who I am. Do you believe that I am an activist? And I'm asking because of an internal struggle that I'm having right now.
No. And the reason why I do not believe you are an activist is because I don't put activist and militant in the same category.
Okay, please explain because I'm a little confused.
Okay, the reason why I don't. Okay, when I think of militant, yes, they do a lot of things in activism, but at the same time, it's a certain drive, it's a certain passion, it's a certain fire in their eyes for the freedom of their people.
Okay.
That I believe that if you're just an activist, you don't have.
Okay. Okay.
So, do you do activism? Yes. But my straight answer is, are you an activist? No. But are you a militant? Definitely. There's no motherfucking roundabout way about that. Because your heart is pure on the freedom and liberation of black people and other people, other POCs. So, I mean, that's just my straight answer. And there
I
you go.
appreciate you for that answer. I would have never saw it from that perspective. And you give me something to think on, and I thank you and appreciate you for your honesty. And BMAC,
So we're going to do this.
I I want the honest truth because, like I said, I have been having an internal struggle, and I know if I ask this behind closed doors, I may give pushback. I realize
Sweetie.
that about myself. I'm not perfect.
Okay. So okay, all right. So since you want to do this now, we're gonna do this now. I have seen on multiple occasions, and not just recently. I mean, on multiple occasions since I've known you, literally, and I stress the word literally, that you literally took a class or something resembling a class because I don't even know half of what that mess you were looking at the other day was. I was just like, what? To formulate bills to get change to actually be done and not sit there. I'm not saying we shouldn't protest. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't misread into that. Yes, we should be up in arms. That is our right to be up in arms and protest. Definitely. We need to make our voices heard, but don't neglect the other side of it. Of a protest honestly has not gotten a bill change. Let's be honest. Let's be real. It has. Sometimes you gotta get in the bed with the devil to find out what they're planning. You got to. So if you got to sit there and do the most inane, boring, stupid, ridiculous, utterly crazy mess in order to find out how to undo it, that's what you've done.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that is what has caused my conflict. This class that I'm taking, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I did discuss it with you, DMAC, that there are a couple people in this class with me that I know I cannot afford to be kicked out of this class. So I've had to fight that. And that is what's causing me to doubt if I'm really about what I say I'm about, because I'm like, I don't want to get kicked out. I know I need this information, but I see that there's two problematic people in here with me. And I just want to.
Well, I gave the militant at heart and the militant minded. You do and the reason why I say you do activation things because every militant does, but there's a fire in one's eyes when they are militant. There's a spirit that takes over them. There's a passion. And just because I didn't go into detail, but DMAC brought up all those things.
Well, no, I hadn't talked to you about the class because
no, I'm talking about the research, the things you do.
I know you know more about that, but like the class that made me feel the way that I did. You know how when something bothers you and you know if you keep bringing it up, it's gonna bother you to the point where you're gonna pop off?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Okay. Well,
and I'm kind of feeling like, okay, am I not really fighting for my people because I'm not checking these two chicks in class? But if I check them in class, I get kicked out. Is that worth me not getting the information? If you all understand how it's pulling at me.
Taz, I once I'm just gonna remind you of something, Taz. I once watched a certain queen of the fold say these words. You play checkers while I play chess. Just saying. Who was that? Where'd that woman go?
You're absolutely right.
Just saying. I specifically heard it.
Here's the thing at the end of the day with this class, my good woman, and I'm going to tell you this, and whether you believe me or not, who's going to be benefiting more from you taking this class? You or them?
The people you're trying to help.
The people I represent.
So then they're irrelevant.
But I just wanted to.
Hey.
I just want to make there's a fine line between biting your tongue for the betterment of your people and going down that slippery slope of coondom.
Okay, but like I said, you said it yourself. They playing checkers. What does Taz play? You said it yourself.
And you know what, girlfriend, you were so right. Tell them on the last day of class. You're absolutely right. You know what?
Hello. I'm just like, that's the long game in this effect. The long game of this effect is as soon as you hit that last day of class, you literally turn to them and say, just for your information, you're idiots. And the next time I see you, it will not be a good day. Thanks.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Okay, Dark One, you can't say that to them. That's a threat.
But here's the thing.
It's not a threat.
To be a lobbyist. I'm not trying to line people's pockets for 60 years. and 4 generations. Making it what I want, the marginalized people. I want, just like how the Breathe Act has moved through, I want this bill to move through. I'm not trying to people. I want when I complete this bill, because I'm about a third through, because it does take a while. I'm not gonna lie. When I get it done, I want it to move through. And I'm trying to learn from other bills that were accepted and denied how to basically smooth, slick oil it through. So when they're like, oh, I don't want this and I want them to argue over the most insignificant stuff that nobody wanted. So that what everybody wanted is what gets passed. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's called playing chess.
Wait a minute. D-Mac can tell you. The bill was 128 pages. It was referenced in my homework. And I'm like, I don't want to take this little smidgen and then try to write this essay from my homework.
Taz, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor?
Would you stop?
Where are your notes? Where are your notes? See, that's what you did. See, that's what you get. You hurt yourself. Where are your notes?
Huh?
You alright? You alright?
Are you asking about my notes?
Yeah, where are your notes? Where are your notes?
I don't want to see her notes. You know how long
No. Just stop. Just stop. So where your notes at? Oh, so we gonna get more descriptive. Where are your all-time notes?
Upstairs. I can't go get those notes right now.
Okay, so you can't carry all them notes downstairs, right?
No.
Okay, so when I say that you have the ability, hold on, let me finish, because you're trying to get goofy. Please let me finish. When I say you have the ability to get it through, and you know you do not need verification from me or anybody else, because most people who know you can get it through. And if not, you will try again. That is why you don't need verification from not a nobody. Because anybody who knows you got it. I'm telling you, you got it. But you did not need that verification from me.
You know what? You're right. I just went through something recently that I will admit made me doubt myself, and I apologize.
Here's my thing, and I'm gonna tell you this, and this better be the last time I have to tell you.
I'm gonna send you a fan.
I know, I need one.
I'm gonna send you.
I need one that has shade on it. I need one that has shade on it, though. That's the one I want.
I was gonna send you the.
No, I need one that has shade.
That you don't even have to do this. You just hold it up because it's got 3 speeds on it.
No, I know. I want one that says shade on it, though. That's the one I want.
Oh, well, I'm working on that through the company we go through. You won't have to sell that. I'll buy it from you.
But here's, like I said, so here's day 2. Here's day 2 of me being POTUS. And by the way, I have my vice president and secretary of defense. And so I'm telling you, at this meeting, I'm literally telling everyone, I'm just like, look, I don't care. It's not an issue for me. Oh, and by the way, every last one of you is going to get a copy of this. Whatever we say at this meeting, you're going to get a copy. I'm going to be like Oprah. You're going to get a copy. You're going to get a copy. You're going to get a copy. And you're going to get a copy. And guess who else is also going to get a copy? The press. So everybody knows what I said, and there's no misconstruing that's going to happen. And there's no, well, he said, no. Here's what I said right here. So that way you can't say anything that I said this to you. No, I said this, and this is what I meant.
And my thing is, he said this to me months ago. So for those of you all who have gotten random texts or random calls or random voicemails from me, when I say things that I feel that you would think were out of character for me, this is why. I learned from him that if I'm going to say something, I'm never going to have anybody close to me be arguing with people and look stupid when I pop up and go, yeah, I said it. So I tell you all first. And that's where I got it from. That's where I learned it from.
I don't have time. And see, I know they're gonna sit there and argue. I'm like, I don't got time for this. We got about how many people in this country now? Give or take, well, you can estimate.
With COVID, we probably got about 12 left. And 3 are on this panel. I feel like Resident Evil is about to happen any day. And I'm not going to Raccoon City because I already know the truth about Raccoon City.
And see, then my address for these lobbyists, because they gonna have their own separate vacation too. So I'm just like, I want all the lobbyists in the room where the Senate normally sits in. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm invoking this into an executive order. You're not allowed within 100 feet of the grounds. You're not allowed to talk to these people unless by some miracle you are one of them. So if you don't got a Senate or House of Representatives badge on here, then get out. You have turned this into a place of commerce, and that's not what it's supposed to be. Ooh, Jesus. I'm telling you, I will be Jesus turning over the tables.
And people seem to forget that story.
He threw them out. But got a whip and everything.
That story, because they still worried about talking about gay folks, but they don't forget about the adulterers, the fraudulent, the rapists, the pedophile.
Again,
until between 1942 and 1946, when we had the German translation that was then translated into English. First of all, the word homosexual didn't even exist. It was just a regular relationship. But I digress. We'll talk about that on another time. They changed pedophilia to homosexuality because that was around the time that the first scandals were happening within the Catholic Church regarding pedophilia. So if you want to get rid of pedophilia, what's the best way to get away with it when you work in a church? Oh, that's right. Take it out of the Bible.
And see, here's another thing. Here's another thing that sticks in my craw. Because before this whole mess went down with the Catholic Church, priests were allowed to marry. Y'all need to bring that back. Stop acting like y'all don't know what y'all doing. The reason that you stopped them from marrying is because when they had kids, that land went to them and not to the church, and you couldn't collect on that money no more. Talk about it.
And let's not forget that because white women during that time that didn't have an identity of their own and are still waiting to be identified within the Constitution of the United States, but I digress, started hyping up and getting pissed off that their clergy husbands were still fucking inducting not only the altar boys, but the nuns and the nunnery. Yes, I know you all like to call it a convent, but back then it was a nunnery because none of those shenanigans were supposed to be taking place. But in the nunnery, all of the re was taking place. Why do you think very few nuns that are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s now do not have pension plans? Where do you think those pensions went to? Because they have no expenses. They don't pay rent. They don't pay utilities. They don't pay for clothes. They don't pay for anything. So their checks were going towards their pension, which was also matched by their employer. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, not having my choice. Because I don't remember anybody forcing a nun to carry a baby full term.
Well, I do want to remind people that we got really off topic, but remember Hashtag BIPOC boost. Let's start uplifting each other BIPOC creators. And just remember, like, at the end of the day, we need a solid foundation that says we support each other. And I believe Taz brought it up earlier in the show.
And actually, Dion, if you don't mind, because
Go
I
ahead.
do have my Love Train list, how about I go through and highlight the BIPOC creators from the Love Train list and give them to you? And you
That
can
would be
start it
perfect.
there. I will duet and boost. That is my solemn promise.
Mm-hmm.
And you do that because this is your initiative. This is an initiative that you have started. And it's not just an initiative that you're doing online, because you also, from all of your words and everything that you've explained to me and everybody on TikTok when we were on Duo Live and here,
Mm-hmm.
you're taking it offline as well. So that's an initiative. So let's move that initiative forward. And I'm here however I can help.
Well, I also want to make a part of the initiative. A part of my initiative when it comes to music, there are some very amazing musicians that are BIPOC that are not being seen because they are either LGBTQIA or they're not the prettiest. And I want to make sure that we're spreading those musics and or sharing. If you find someone on TikTok who has a music album, let's try to get that out if they're BIPOC. Like, let's take back control of not only our culture but the love of our people, because we expecting faux allies and faux accomplices to love us when we ain't acting like we love ourselves.
Yep.
And I personally love our black people. Don't get me wrong, y'all drive me nuts, but I love y'all.
Well, I love all BIPOC people. Do I agree with every BIPOC person? No.
No.
And I know that there are people that are close to me that are working with me to, you know what, let me call a spade, and in this instance, I'm the spade, to be less gullible and to have less of a bleeding heart and to just stop giving everybody the benefit of the doubt and stop biting my tongue for people. I know that that's what I do. I am working on it, and there are some wonderful people who are working with me on getting better at it. I know that that is my issue. I am working on it. DMAC, I can see you.
What? I said
I'm working
nothing.
on it.
I said absolutely nothing.
Oh, and if you haven't pressed the subscribe button and hit the bell yet, go ahead and do it.
Thank you.
Also, like it boosts us too.
Also,
yes, that too.
Do not forget, in this video, actually any video, because I get the notification, or you can even do it on any of my videos that you see me on any other platform. Give us your villain hero duo. I know I was supposed to put a video out on TikTok today, but I got caught up with housework, and then I had a duo of friends stop by. My apologies. Life caught up with me. I am so sorry.
It's life.
I will do my best to put a video out tomorrow, but little man has a football game tomorrow, and I have fun Sunday dinner. So
Taz, you're doing it again. You're doing it again.
No, because I gave my word last night and I didn't keep my word. So,
but who did you give your word to?
I have to. It doesn't. Once I give my word, it doesn't matter who I give it to. I have to own it as an adult. I can't.
Okay, I accept that. I just
felt like you were. You can even put it in the comments here who your favorite villain duo, and remember they're fighting side by side, and it doesn't matter what universe they come from. Put it in the comment section, and as people vote on it, we'll keep a list, and then we'll make a bracket, and we'll get this done.
I got mine.
So it has to be a hero and villain duo. You don't get a vote.
Man, okay.
So it's a hero and villain, not two heroes, not two villains. It's a hero, one villain.
And it doesn't matter what universe, what dynamic they come from. It could be
Also,
DC, it could be Star Wars, it could be Marvel, it could be Black Sands. We don't care.
something.
And if it's from a lesser known series, please give a description
Of their power set.
right, so that people understand, so people can vote accordingly.
Also, if it's a lesser known hero, it doesn't have its own established book like like
If we
the
can't
main
go,
star
if we can't go get the
stream.
book and verify it, don't add it, because if you don't know me and D-Mac by now, we're gonna go verify what you said.
I mean, I'm not gonna go verify. I'm just gonna go look. If I can't find it,
Dion can tell you because he's watched me. I can literally walk up the street to the comic book store, and it's a huge one, and I can verify whatever y'all put in the comment sections. Am I lying, Dion?
Nope.
He synced it, and it's not a little one, is it, Dion?
Nope.
Dion was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "That was the selling point of me moving here."
you know, there's a bigger one in New York. Just saying.
First of all, you know where I live.
Again, I'm just saying.
New York got enough problem with colds, flus, infections, pizza eating rats, subway cars catching on fire. I ain't going there. Bitches don't like me.
Again, you can literally go up to Albany. They have one of the biggest comic book stores there. Just saying.
I feel like that was shade.
But I feel like if I step into the state of New York and blink, somebody gonna have a problem with it.
Then that's them. You know,
I'm talking about you, D-Mac. I'm sorry.
You said Albany?
I know she's talking about me.
No. And okay, I do have a friend that's a librarian. Do not come for my friend. She is a sexy librarian. I would show her picture, but she doesn't do social media. I've tried to get her to come on the show and talk about books. I think I'm wearing her down like Steve Urkel. Because y'all know me. I don't make people cut on their cameras. So I'm like if y'all think I know a lot about books, like this is her profession. I wish I could be a librarian, but y'all already know how I would be as a librarian, so we're not gonna go there. And she lives in Albany. I mean, I have one that also looked.
Well, it's either there or New Jersey.
I think it's Brooklyn, but okay. When people tell me which borough they live in, when I visit them, then I know the borough that I'm in. But if I just go, this is no shade to New York. Y'all don't say that I'm trying to be disrespectful. As a non-New Yorker, I do not know the difference between none of y'all shit. I don't know between the borough. Only thing I can tell the difference between is Staten Island and Long Island and everything else. And I'm not even gonna say why I can tell the difference, because I feel like somebody from New York will like Google my IP address and like get a hacker and fuck me up. And I mean no disrespect. I'm just not from New York. I visit New York.
Oh, and don't forget.
Oh, I used to live in Jersey.
Merch is out. There's a link about it in the Huh?
Go ahead. I was answering somebody in the comments, but I got right. So go ahead and say what you have to say.
Oh, don't forget Taz merch is out, and then David also has DMAC also has merch out. DMAC also has merch out. And so I've seen both of them.
Is Petty University, and it is in the link tree that's attached to this station. Well, to this channel. If you look under Petty University, it's there.
Okay, I'm going back to just calling him DMAC because I keep messing up. Anyways.
Well, fuck you up. I don't give a shit. Do I look like I give a shit? Because I don't.
Who are you talking to?
Not you. I'm talking to the bunch. Do I look like I give a shit? Because I don't. You can keep talking underneath your breath. I can hear you.
And it wasn't about you, nosy.
Okay, look, you guys, I am going to bed because I have to get up.
Wait, hold on. Give me just 1 second to write down this duo so I don't lose it in the live. Hold on.
Oh, Iron Man and Joker?
Okay, there we go.
Didn't we have an Iron Man and Joker one in the first video we asked about this?
No, we had Iron Man with a bunch of different people and Joker with a bunch of different people, but not Iron Man and Joker.
Interesting. Well, let's see who
I want to get it on the list.
All
because
right.
It's easy. Like, I'm not saying don't come back and comment if you all watch this on replay. Yes, I can come back and get the comments. It's just that when it's live, excuse me, it's easier for me to get those comments and then know what the responses are.
Yep. So if you come back here and comment, either comment on there or leave your deal on there. The way we're going to be gauging this is either they liked or commented underneath your comment.
Yeah. And for me, because this is my page, when I go back and look at it, if I write down the original live comment, it shows up different as people respond, and then I know what the responses are. If I don't write it down, then I'm kind of lost in limbo. So that's why I'm like, oh, give me just a few more minutes to write it down. But as always, thank you all. And once we get a good enough list, we're going to bring Pastor Greg back on because Pastor Greg had
Lord, he'll be upset.
Yes, I know he'll be upset about this, but I did give my word that once we had a complete list, we would bring him back on. So I'm going to give my word, and he actually does. Him and Daddy are pastors, so
we got it. We will be careful.
Just
before we get off,
because I'm gonna get snitched on.
Okay.
If I didn't say it.
Okay, so just remember #BIPOC boost. Make sure you duet videos, boost of BIPOC creators, and remember, this is not just meant for TikTok, but I want to make sure that we are getting ourselves together and understanding like just because TikTok suppresses us doesn't mean that we need to.
And also just realize I'm not stopping the love train. When Dion came to me with the idea and I said that I could pass off BIPOC creators to him, we're keeping the love train going, but BIPOC creators I will be passing on to him. I will still be duetting him and following the hashtag and boosting these creators myself. So we're just expanding the movement.
That's how we roll here.
So once again, thank you again to my lovely co-host. Oh,
of course.
Was I wrong to call you all that, or is it okay to call you all that?
I don't care. You know this.
I don't care.
Okay, I was just asking because it just rolled off my tongue, and then I was like, "Crap, I didn't ask them about that."
Girl, continue. We good.
Anywho, each one teach one, each one reach one. I try to be nice to them. Yeah, nice y'all. Shit, y'all might see us tomorrow. Y'all might see us Tuesday, but you ain't gonna see me Monday because my baby boy is gonna be here, and he probably got jokes for the. Well, actually, he's gonna have jokes with them. Y'all pray for me. Hey, bye.
Bye.